Star Trek's Quark names the best actor on Deep Space Nine, and I think he's right. Of all the people to crown the best actor on Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, it somehow feels perfect that the honor would come from Quark. The Ferengi bartender, played with volcanic charisma by Armin Shimmerman, spent 7 seasons watching Starfleet officers posture, Bajorans agonize, Cardassians scheme, and changelings philosophize about order. Quark saw everyone at their worst, their most honest, and their most desperate. If anyone on that station learned how to read a performance, it was the man serving drinks while empires rose and fell. And when Shimmerman has been asked over the years who he believes was the best actor on Deep Space Nine, his answer has been consistent and emphatic. Andrew Robinson, the actor behind Elam Garak. Not one of the best. Not among the strongest. The best. It's a bold statement on a show stacked with extraordinary talent. But the more I revisit Deep Space Nine, the more convinced I am that Quark is absolutely right. A cast where best feels impossible. Before singling out Robinson, it's worth acknowledging just how high the bar is. Avery Brooks gave Captain Benjamin Sisko a gravitas that felt Shakespearean without ever tipping into parody. Renee Auberjonois brought elegance and melancholy to Odo, turning heavy prosthetics into a vehicle for subtle, wounded humanity. Nana Visitor charted one of Star Trek's most nuanced arcs as Kira Nerys, evolving from trauma-hardened freedom fighter to spiritual and political leader. Mark Alamo made Gul Dukat terrifying precisely because he was charming. On paper, Deep Space Nine shouldn't even allow for a single best actor. The ensemble is too rich, the performances too varied. And yet, Robinson's Garak doesn't just hold his own. He quietly, relentlessly redefines what acting in Star Trek can be. Garak, a character built on contradiction. Elam Garak enters the series as a simple tailor. That phrase, repeated with sly insistence, is the first clue that nothing about him will ever be simple. Garak is exiled, possibly disgraced, definitely dangerous. He's polite but unsettling, friendly but untrustworthy. He smiles like a host and watches like a predator. What makes Garak such a gift to an actor and such a minefield is that he lives entirely in contradiction. He is a spy who claims not to be a spy, a patriot who was cast out by his people, a liar who often tells the truth while insisting he's lying. Robinson had to play all of that simultaneously, often in scenes where the dialogue gives him almost nothing overt to work with. And he never cheats, acting between the lines. Andrew Robinson's greatest strength as Garak is his ability to perform between the lines. Watch how rarely Garak speaks plainly, and how rarely Robinson relies on obvious tics or gimmicks. His vocal inflections are precise, but restrained. His body language is economical. A raised eyebrow, a pause half a second too long, a smile that lingers after the eyes have gone cold. In lesser hands, Garak could have become a cartoon. The mysterious alien who exists to drop cryptic hints and chew scenery. Robinson instead plays him like a fully realized person who happens to be brilliant at deception. Garak doesn't wink at the audience. He doesn't underline his own cleverness. He trusts that if he plays the character honestly, the complexity will emerge on its own. That trust is the mark of a great actor. The Wire and the Art of Controlled Collapse. If there's a single episode that proves Shimmerman's point, it's The Wire. The hour strips Garak of his defenses, plunging him into withdrawal-induced agony as his implant malfunctions. What could have been a melodramatic breakdown becomes something far more unsettling and intimate. Robinson doesn't just show pain. He reveals dependency, shame, nostalgia, and self-loathing in layers. Garak rambles, confesses, recants, and confesses again. Each story contradicts the last. And yet all of them feel emotionally true. By the end, the episode hasn't clarified who Garak really is, but it has made him devastatingly human. That's an extraordinary trick, to reveal character without resolving mystery. Many actors can deliver a big emotional scene. Few can deepen ambiguity while doing it, holding his own against giants. One of the clearest indicators of Robinson's skill is how effortlessly Garak holds his own opposite the strongest performers on the show. His scenes with Avery Brooks crackle with intellectual tension. His conversations with Renee Auberjonois feel like philosophical duels disguised as polite chats. With Alexander Siddig's Bashir, Garak becomes playful, paternal, and predatory, sometimes all in the same sentence. Crucially, Robinson never dominates these scenes by force. He doesn't overpower his scene partners. He listens. He reacts. He adjusts. Garak feels alive in conversation, responding organically rather than delivering prepackaged, great moments. That kind of responsiveness is rare, especially in genre television where exposition can flatten performances. Robinson turns exposition into subtext. The power of restraint in genre television. Star Trek has always encouraged a certain theatricality. That's not a flaw. It's part of the franchise's DNA. But Deep Space Nine often demanded something different. Moral ambiguity, emotional repression, characters who couldn't say what they felt without risking everything. Robinson understood that instinctively. Garak is almost never allowed the catharsis other characters receive. He doesn't get speeches about duty or freedom. He doesn't stand on the promenade proclaiming his beliefs. When he acts decisively, such as in the Pale Moonlight, it's often off-screen or implied. And yet, Garak's presence in those moments is overwhelming. Robinson makes absence feel as loud as action. Why Quark would know. Armin Shimmerman's endorsement carries special weight because Quark is, in many ways, Garak's mirror. Both characters operate on the fringes of power. Both trade in information and leverage. Both understand the value of performance, of presenting one face while concealing another. Shimmerman himself is a superb actor, and Quark is far more complex than early Ferengi stereotypes allowed. For Shimmerman to single out Robinson isn't just professional courtesy. It's peer recognition. It's one craftsman acknowledging another who is doing something extraordinarily difficult and making it look effortless. Quark would recognize that talent instantly. He makes a living reading people. Consistency across 7 seasons. Another reason Robinson stands out is consistency. Garak appears sporadically compared to the main cast, yet he never feels underdeveloped or repetitive. Across 7 seasons, Robinson subtly evolves the character, softening here, hardening there, revealing cracks without ever dismantling the core. Even late series episodes never feel like Robinson is coasting. Garak's reunion with Cardassia, his reckoning with Tane, his complicated relationship with his people, all of it lands because Robinson has laid such careful groundwork. Every previous choice informs the next. That long game thinking is rare, especially for a recurring guest star. The legacy of Garak. Today, Garak is routinely cited as one of Star Trek's greatest characters, often the greatest. That reputation isn't built on plot twists or iconic uniforms. It's built on performance, on the sense that Garak exists beyond the frame, that he has a past we'll never fully know and a future we can only imagine. Andrew Robinson didn't just play Garak. He authored him, shaping the character through choices that elevated the writing and enriched the world of Deep Space Nine. The show trusted him with its